So I want to give an update to a story that we covered on this particular channel that happened back in December of last year. So there was a trucker from Colorado Springs, and he was accused of stabbing a brother in the neck in Oregon last December, has now been charged with a hate crime by a federal grand jury. So he got some federal charges in this particular case. So on Thursday, Assistant Attorney General Eric Dreband on the Justice Department Civil Rights Division and the U.S. Attorney Billy J. Williams of the District of Oregon said Nolan Levy Strauss, a 26-year-old Mzungu trucker, had been indicted on a federal hate crime involving intent to kill, unprovoked stabbing of the brother, 48-year-old Ronell Hughes. Okay, now that's according to a release from the U.S. Department of Justice. Now, if you remember the story, the brother was, waiting in a lobby at a truck stop for a manager. The white supremacist approached him and without warning from behind stabbed the brother in the neck and said, following the struggle, the brother was able to get away from him and employees detained the white supremacist at the time period. He told the employees he did it because he did not like black people. OK, so the brother underwent emergency surgery in Boise, Idaho for 2 lacerations in his neck because he had recently moved to Oregon from North Carolina. Now, he moved from North Carolina to Oregon to be with a female. I discussed, my opinion on that in the previous video. But the case, was investigated by the FBI and the Ontario Police Department at the time period. It says that the truck driver, he had worked for May Trucking, and had been living in his truck in a nearby parking lot for several days. So he didn't even have a house. And say he was arrested at the scene and told officers he just hated black people. And they claim he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder in 2016. He had not been taking his medication. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of people in this country with bipolar disorder, and they have not harmed anyone. So don't be blaming bipolar disorder for his hatred. Let's call it what it is. He was raised that way. And we see the 400-year history of people like him doing this to black people. So it's good he had a federal hate crime charge. And that charge is pretty stiff. You really don't want that kind of charge on a federal level for sure. But he deserved every bit of it because he gave them the evidence by saying he did it because he hates black people. And I hope he rot in jail. And after that, I hope he burn in hell with gasoline draws on. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the situation with this update to this story. I say it's a good end. I like to find out exactly how much time he's going to get with this situation. But, people, you got to watch yourself. You keep your head on swivel in these places. I always tell people that because you just never know sometimes.